What's up, you guys? It's Games here again for another episode of fucking Planet Invaders. Was good. So today, um, like I said in the last episode, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It was a good episode. It came out a week ago. Um, like I said in the last episode, in my content warning, that we're gonna be talking about serious struggles that I've been going through, and Um, it's been 2 months since I recorded a fucking episode of this podcast, and I don't know why. I don't even have an excuse as to why I haven't been doing it. Not to feel like it's a requirement or a necessity, but I want to do it. So therefore I have to. Um, and plus I love making content. So today's episode will also be serious as well as the rest of this season. So, um, bear with me. Content warning that I will be talking about depression and anxiety this episode, and I will be talking about death. So, if you're not in a great headspace, maybe find something else to watch. It's fine. And you can come back and watch a different time when you're ready. But I do not encourage people to watch if they're not in a good headspace, because I've been there and done that, and I don't want to make anything worse for anybody else, let alone for myself. So today's episode, we are talking about dying slowly and being very alone. And as you guys can tell, I'm so sad, you guys. I'm so depressed, and I can't help but like break down every fucking hour over something different, because my life is just this continuation of falling apart, and um I am lost more than I've ever been, and struggling more than I've ever been. And even when I thought that I couldn't go lower than what I've been able, surprise, surprise, to fucking reach a brand new low. So I'm at a new low, and I just wanted to vent about it, because the sad part isn't that we're dying, because everybody dies and we're all gonna die eventually. And as bad as that is, the worst part about that is never living your life in the first place. Um, Being too scared to die, being alone, suffering, depression, anxiety, panicking, all that, dealing with self-hatred, dealing with doubt, all that. So, um, I just wanted to make this episode because I have been going through that a lot lately, and I've been dealing with this extreme amount of doubt. On top of that, because I I don't know. I just feel really existential, and like I'm doomed, and I'm unhappy and breaking down all the time, because I can't figure out how to take control of my life when my life seems so chaotic and hectic and crazy. So, um, yeah, I wanted to talk about, in some way, this comforting feeling that, you know, at the end of our lives, we always at the end of our lives we always regret how we lived. Um, we live in fear of dying, and we are scared. We're hurting, we're broken, we're lost, and want answers as to why that, death comes in the first place when a lot of people don't deserve it. Um, but I think that I learned a long time ago, because I've been really depressed really, really badly before, that, um, you know, death can't be the worst of it. And that there are pains in life that are way worse than death could ever be. And I learned that when I was a teenager, and I've been forced to live by that and stick to it. Why? Because my life has just never picked up, and that's not to say that it won't get better. That's not to say that it doesn't get easy sometimes, but at the same time, I think that my life was, I can say this, that my life, I've had lows, and I'm not always feeling low, and I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, I think that it doesn't make it any easier to embrace the hard things that you go through. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I don't even want to hear that. But there are a lot bigger and scarier things that you go through life, like not being ready, or being forced to grow up, or making really big mistakes, that are a lot worse. And you go through those things and you deal with it the best you can. And when even when it doesn't seem like you know what you're doing, I learned also, at 18, 19, that at least you get to experience something and take it for granted. Take it for granted, because you should be grateful that you're even alive, even when you don't want to be, when you didn't ask to be, because trust me, I've gone through that. And I just, I know how hard it can be. I know how hard it can be. I know how hard it can be. And even when, you're struggling and it seems too hard, or you never asked for this, that, you know, at the end we die, and that should make you want to try to fight. That should make you want to move forward. That should make you want to grow up, or stay, or grow stronger, And in some way, I had to learn that through extreme depression, extreme anxiety, and it's hard. It's very hard. And I wouldn't wish this pain on anybody, because sometimes I'm so unsure of I'm so unsure of the direction of my life that it hurts my heart and my head and my body to have to go through that. And it's a very, very extreme pain that I don't wish on anybody. And it's in some weird way, I guess it's to teach you, to help you learn, to force you to grow up. But I don't know, I feel like I'm past all that from a really long time ago. And I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning. And I'm dealing with all this struggle and all this challenge and all this hurting. And I don't know where to go. And I'm trying to push forward the best I can. But it's just really hard. It's just really, really hard. And, me saying, I'm doing the best I can doesn't even really make me feel better. It doesn't even really inspire me to be motivated, to push myself out of it. But I don't know. I'm just so sick of this is what it is. I'm so sick of dying and pretending like I'm not. I'm so sick of hurting and pretending like everything is fine. I'm so tired of smiling in people's faces and they continue to hurt me. I'm so tired of people taking my kindness for weakness. And I don't know what to do. I just seriously do not know what to do. And I'm fighting and fighting and fighting even when I'm tired and disgusted and broken. But it just, I don't know. It's just really hard to get better from this. And the worst part about it is that I feel so alone while I'm going through it. Like, nobody else has ever gone through it. Like, nobody else has struggled the way I've struggled. Nobody else understands me. People continue to, continue to take my weakness for kindness. And people continue to, use me and take me for granted and abuse me. And I don't want to be taken for granted anymore because it hurts really bad. And I don't want for people to use me because I thought I could trust you. And now look at where we're at. I'm hurting and you don't even care. And it's so one-sided and it hurts so bad. But I guess that's besides the point. But I'll say this and then I'll end it. But I remember one time when I was, I think like 17, and I was sitting with my friends, and one of my friends was telling me about how he was super depressed and he was struggling and he didn't know what to do. And I was like, I'm depressed too. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to help because I was struggling. But he was talking about how he felt like he was ready to end his life, and it made me mad, and we got into an argument. And I said that, doing something like that is selfish and it hurts the people around you, and it's not fair that you get to leave the earth and hurt so many people because of something that you think is forever when it's not. And he said that he was struggling really badly and he didn't know how to deal with it. And I felt so bad and so stupid because I had been there before and I was gonna be there again. And I didn't even know how to express to him how to help him, and he did ended up hurting himself and taking and unaliving himself forever because he felt like he was alone. And I was thinking about that like a week ago. Um and it just really made me sad to the point where I was like, damn, like I don't like it's been all these years later and I still don't know what I'm fighting for. And I'm still here and I still don't know why. And like I was hurting so bad, and like the worst part about it was that I came to the conclusion, it's probably just because I'm really scared to die. And that's the only thing keeping me here to struggle this entire time, because it had been 10 years later and I was still in that place where I was when I sat in his face and got mad at him for saying that he was gonna hurt himself. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I'm In Games, and this is Planet Invaders. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want to. And stay tuned for another episode. I'll be back.